Hold on to your hats. We are about to enter the world of the wild, the weird, and the wonderful, the quantum world, the world of the tiny. Now, there are 4 reasons why you might want to understand the quantum world, the world of subatomic particles. It's been discovered that we are in a dual communication system with this field, with this force. It's also been discovered that the power of our thoughts, our intentions, and our emotions are much more than we think and can actually affect healing on ourselves and healing on people 3,000 miles away. It's also been discovered that the power of our thoughts and intentions can have an effect and make change and also manifest what we want into our life. And the quantum world also has been used for technology, but that is not what we're going to talk about today. So hi everyone, my name is Randi Light, and this is episode 47 of how to apply the quantum world to be a peak performer of the Randi Light Experience. And I do have to tell you that we had some technical difficulties because of the way I had set this up. So nobody even knows this is happening. But if you are here, my name is Randi Light, and this is episode 47, and I am going to share with you the wild world of quantum physics today because it's such an opportunity for you to be a peak performer, your best version of yourself. And speaking of peak performer, you're probably wondering who I am and what's going to happen today. So my name is Randi Light, and I am a peak performance coach. I'm a hypnosis instructor, and I'm a healer. And for the past 10, 11 years, I've hypnotized thousands of children and adults to virtually overcome everything and be their best version of themselves. And so I want to thank you for being a part of this. Whether you are new to my show or you've been here before, I want to say hello to everybody. And it's great whether you're listening live or listening to the recording, say hello to us. We want to know that you're here. Send some of the bubbles across the screen, send some of the love buttons, the like buttons, and say hello, say something. And Cheryl, welcome to the show. And you guys, let other people know, because this is going to be the wild, the weird, and the wonderful. Some of the research I'm going to be sharing with you is going to blow your mind. So let other people know who you think might want to to learn more of this. I am the author of this book, The Essential Four, and the creator of the Essential Four system. It's hypnosis combined with coaching, and it gives you everything you need to get out of your way to be your best version of yourself. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today is also an opportunity for you to be your best version of yourself. So, all right, we are going to get into the show, everybody. And one of the things that I'm going to share with you is absolutely very mind-blowing. And Dick Sutphin is actually, hi Vicki, hello to all, and Cheryl, you guys say hello, thank you for that. So Dick Sutphin, back to Dick Sutphin, he's written numerous books, done a lot of research in psychic research and all kinds of research, and he's a hypnotist, and he's absolutely brilliant. And I was listening to one of his recordings, and I'm going to share with you this mind-blowing research. And one of the research that I'm going to share with you right now is that Dick Sutphin interviewed a physicist who was working at the government testing laboratories in White Sands, New Mexico. And he said they were isolating the smallest particle of energy, a unit far smaller than an atom. And this particle is in a sealed cloud chamber. So nothing could get into the chamber and the particle couldn't get out. And this particle is too small to be seen by the human eye. So they photographed this particle unit on ultra-sensitive movie film. And within the cloud chamber, this particle had a measurable size, shape, even pattern and speed. And it remained constantly in motion. The whole time they were recording this, until it fell to the bottom of the chamber. It appeared to die. But they left the camera running, and soon the tiny unit of energy was back. but now it appeared as a new size and weight and moving in a new pattern and a new speed. Think about that. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form. We are starting to be able to prove that. And hello from Armenia, and hello Leighton and Arusiak. Welcome, you guys. It's good to be here and to share all this, even though I had technical difficulties. So think about what we just heard. It's just a demonstration of that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes forms. And we've heard that so often. So another really key important thing I want to get across today is that we are in a communication system with this field, and we're learning more and more about what that is. But I want to share a story with you. So I live in a community surrounded by dunes and trees and right by Lake Michigan. And so I walk pretty regularly, and sometimes I get the opportunities to see hawks and foxes and coyotes. But this time I was on a walk, and there were two hawks up in the air, and one was flying far away, and one was going to catch the other, and they're making a lot of noise. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, because I hadn't seen a hawk in a while. And so I thought to myself, I'm going to go home and I'm going to read the book, Animal Speaks, to see what it means when you... Oh, she says she has a bad connection. So see what it means when a hawk comes into your life. There's a message sometimes there. So when I got home, I completely forgot. So now I went for another walk the next day, and once again, there were hawks again. So it was super cool and super exciting. And I said to myself, note to self, when I get home, read about the message when you see a hawk, what it means for you in your life. Totally forgot when I got home. So another day passed, and then I went on another walk. And this time I was like by my house, surrounded by other houses, and there were two hawks again. And one was perched in the tree, and the other one was flying away, and it was super cool. And I was like, okay, I'm going to remember this. So I didn't. As soon as I got home, what happened was I got home and I totally forgot. So then let's fast forward to a Saturday morning, and I'm sitting drinking coffee on my couch, and I have these big windows. And I'm sitting there, and I decide to have a conversation with this field, the source, God, whatever you want to call it. I just out loud, and I may have done that before, but not, maybe once or twice in my life. So I'm having this conversation. I don't even know what I'm saying. All I know is that then I stopped, and then I was just drinking my coffee and doing my normal thinking. And then I was thinking, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of my thinking, I felt this energy. I felt like this feeling come through and break up my thoughts of a hawk. I just felt this word, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Hawk. And then I'm like, yes, I'm going to go run down and get the book. So what was fascinating to me is that was definitely intuition, definitely outside of me coming in, telling me, go read about hawks. And so I did. And then what's interesting about hawk is when you read about it, it means there's a message coming. Other ones might be that you want to be careful, or that, the coyote, there's a trickster around, or different things. But this was that there is a message coming for you. So pay attention. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Well, then I decided to ask the universe, ask the field, for a specific way of knowing that we're communicating. So I said, I want to see a hawk come right in front of my big giant windows and me be able to see it. And I want it to happen today. And so I did that and totally forgot about it. A couple hours later, I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, and we're talking, and I'm going from one room to the other, and I look over for some reason, and there is a hawk almost hitting my window. I screamed, of course, because that had only happened one other time since I'd lived here for 16 years. So it was like magic to me. Absolutely magic. But it's not magic. We're starting to prove this in the world of the tiny. And I'm going to get into that and tell you about that in just a moment. So I wanted to share that hawk story, and that you could actually communicate. So one of the things that we have to do to break down and help us understand the quantum world is to also understand that everything vibrates. Everything has a specific signature. Everything vibrates. and metal, plastic, people, glass, water, everything vibrates and is vibrating at the speed that wood or metal vibrates. And ours changes depending on our state of mind, what we're feeling. But what we've discovered, or physicists discovered, that, and it's been proven, that metal and plastic and wood and everything appears to be solid, but it's actually made up of swirling molecules, temporarily molded into their current patterns and vibrating at the rates of the metal or the plastic. Everything on Earth breaks down to subatomic particles, everything. So our world isn't what it appears to be, because nothing is solid. It's actually all energy. And energy is non-physical in nature. Our own bodies are energy. We are actually 99.999999% more empty space. We are more no thing than thing. Think about that. Now, almost 100 years ago, it was discovered that it is possible to be in two places at the same time, at least if you are an electron. Think about that. Over 100 years ago, one of the smallest particles that can be measured, with specific machines and technology. An electron is a subatomic particle. It's part of an atom, and we are all made up of atoms. Everything is made up of atoms, so everything is made of these subatomic particles, and the electron has been seen in two places at one time. So that's pretty fascinating. And if an electron can do it, why can't we? So there's this thing in quantum physics called the observer effect. The observer effect, because something happens when a physicist or a scientist goes looking for a electron. So the new understanding of the world happened because electrons don't behave like things that behave in the big world, in our regular world. So these particles, electrons, behaved in unpredictable and unusual ways, kind of like a teenager. So when the electrons interacted with the nucleus of an atom, they moved toward its center. They would gain energy or lose energy. They would appear and disappear. They would appear and disappear. Think about that. The electrons seem to show up all over the place without regard to the boundaries of space and time. Now, this is real, people, and this was over 100 years ago. So what quantum physics discovered, or physicists discovered, was that the person observing had an effect on the electron, had an effect on it. So the person observing or measuring the tiny particles that may make up atoms affects the behavior of energy and matter. Quantum experiments demonstrate this over and over, that electrons exist simultaneously in an infinite array of possibilities or probabilities in an invisible field of energy. But only when an observer focuses its attention on any one location does that electron appear. In other words, a particle cannot manifest into reality, that is ordinary space and time as we know it, until we observe it. So we now know that the moment that an observer looks for an electron, there is a specific point in time and space that all the probabilities of that electron showing up there collapse into a physical event, and it can be seen. So with this discovery, mind and matter can no longer be considered separate. They are intrinsically related because subjective mind produces objective results in the physical world. And that leads us to E equals mc squared. I know you guys have heard of Einstein, and he came up with that Energy equals matter. And basically, energy and matter are the same thing. So if you are understanding what I'm talking about today, then please, or if you're liking what I'm saying, hello, send some of those bubbles, share this with other people. Let us know that you are being able to understand what it is I'm saying. And then we're going to get back to this, definitely. And thank you for sending a bubble across the screen. So Einstein's equation equals mc squared tells us that matter is energy. And energy and matter are so fundamentally related, they are one and the same. And remember, we are more no thing than thing, even though we're very, very physical. So that is a lot about what the actual the essence of wave and particle. Well, I guess I do have to go into wave and particle, and I wanted to find my notes on that. So the universe basically is made up of waves and particles, and that's the basic fabric of what we are, waves and particles. And waves would be like, you could think of them like this, like, you know, like a S on its side, or you could think of a wave like if you put a rock in a pond, you drop a rock and it makes the ripples, like a wave. And a particle is a tiny dot, if you will. A particle is a small physical thing. And what they discovered, that light also is both, and that this is the fabric of everything. It's either a wave or a particle, or sometimes into both. And that's the wacky, wild world. But I want to apply it to our world right now so that you can understand. So I'm going to share something you may or may not have heard about, Cleve Baxter. So this is some research. Now, Cleve, he worked for the CIA. He was the leading lie detector expert. And I think this was in the 60s. And so he really worked with a polygraph machine. And a polygraph machine, you put little electrodes on the skin and it can tell a few different things. So it's a lie detector test, right? And it tests blood pressure and pulse and respiration and skin conductivity. So I think Cleve was bored, and this is a picture of him. I don't know if you can see it, and his machine. And so he decided to put it up to a plant. He had a plant in his house, and he decided to say, well, what would happen if I put these electrodes on this plant, and what would happen? So he put it on there, and then he's like, well, I need to do something. So he poured some water on it. The plant didn't respond. Nothing happened. Well, then he decided, he's thinking, well, what can I do that would have an impact on this plant? And he starts thinking about, well, I should burn the leaf. I'll get a match and I'll burn that, I'll light it and I'll burn the leaf. And when he started thinking about it, the plant apparently started to scream. It's because the polygraph went from just regular waves to all over the place. And you can look this up. It's fascinating because there's been so much research since then. Think about that. He didn't actually do it yet. He just thought about doing it, and the plant responded. And then when he stopped thinking about it, the plant settled down. And there's been 30 research. He's been so much. There's books on Cleve Baxter and all the stuff that he's done. But another thing that he did is he put brine shrimp in boiling water. And at the moment he put it in the boiling water, all the plants around him started screaming, if you will. They went from just, casual S like this to. So think about that. And I mean, this got some attention with the media, not so much with the science, but there were plenty of scientists who also got involved in this, and they're continuing to do amazing research with this. So I'm going to share a couple more things with you. How much time do we have? Okay, we got a little bit more time. So there are these random number generators all over the planet. And they've been there, there's like 65 of them, they've been there for a while. They've been there for 40 years or so. And they just spit out random numbers. Unless something dramatic is happening on our planet. If something dramatic is happening on our planet, if everybody's focused on something at the same time, it actually affects them and they're no longer random. Like 9/11. So that's kind of fascinating to think about. There's something happening, there's some kind of field, there's some kind of communication. And it's always kind of cool to circle back to the hawk story to ask for some communication in a clear, defined way. Like, you know, you can make SMART goals. Well, this will be a SMART intention so that it's easy, specific, measurable, timely. So, you know, it could all happen in a simple way. So so Lynn McTaggart, she's written a bunch of books too called The Field and the Power of Intention. And she's studied with so many of these incredible physicists and scientists and done a lot of research on her own because she has an audience and she does conferences. So they have these things called random number generators. So, I mean, that was the random event generator. So random event generators. So let's say what she was talking about is it's like the modern day toss of a coin. And so it's a computer and it randomly spews out pictures, we'll say in this case, of Indians and cowboys. So the intentions in the experiments are to have the people who are really good at attentions, that's what she started with first, like people who are really good at focusing, to focus on Indians so that there would be more Indians. And it proved to be true. The research showed over and over again, and they did this really well, all the ways you're supposed to do these scientific studies. We just don't have time to explain all that. But it produced significant changes, and it was no longer random. And that also was whether the people were right next to the computer or 300 miles away. It did not matter. The intention still affected so that it was no longer random, and statistically significant changes took place. And there are hundreds of experiments since then of different things like that with Lynn McTaggart. So I encourage you to recognize and realize the power of intention. So there might be a few other things I can share with you guys today, but what I want to do with you is get you into a relaxed and focused state, because this is called the Randi Light Experience for a reason. I know that this can heal. There is also Richard Gordon, who talks about quantum touch. He created quantum touch, and it's taught all over the world, but he can very rapidly, with intention, he calls it intense love and adoration and clear intention, that it to affect change in people's physical bodies. So quantum touch is a type of healing, an energy healing that is very effective and demonstratable, meaning that sometimes they'll work with measuring the spine and making the spine go straight. And so you can immediately see and measure that very quickly. And so he teaches people how to do this, and there's books how to do it. But the combination, and I know if you've listened to my show before, you've heard this, and I probably should share this one other experiment because it just makes it very clear. You know, I want you to be able to apply this quantum world into your everyday life. And what the point being is, the research says we have 60,000 thoughts, but when you have a focused attention and focused intention, with a great feeling like gratitude, love, or joy, that's how change takes place. Whether you're right there, whether you're working on somebody hundreds of miles away, it really, time and space don't matter. What matters is you being in a high vibration. Now, we talked about vibration earlier, but you need to be in a high vibration. And vibration, like emotions, are vibrations. And love and joy and adoration and appreciation, those are high vibrations, very high vibrations. And Richard Gordon even talks about that love might be that energy that's in between. And so what he also mentions is, so when he's doing quantum touch healing, whether he's actually touching or not, because it's an evolved thing now where he doesn't actually have to touch, where that you can't measure yet, I believe, that you can't measure the energy, what's coming. It's like electricity. You can't measure what's actually coming out and making it happen, but you can measure the change, the before and after, which is kind of interesting that you can't actually measure what's actually happening, but we can measure vibrations. We have sensitive technology that measures love and joy and appreciation, because when you're in love or joy, appreciation, your heart expands. And it affects a field, and it can affect other people. And that heart breathing thing with an elevated mood. So that elevated mood is very, very important. So a clear intention and an elevated mood. So what you want with an elevated mood is how you can affect change. Whether you want to feel better, whether you want to bring something into your life, but you have to focus on what you want and recognize and realize that you are in communication with this field, and it can communicate back with you. So I encourage you right now to start with that. I am going to take you into a focused state where we can discover some of these things, where I'm going to have you get into that elevated mood. So what you want to do right now is stop multitasking, whether you're listening live, and definitely don't do this while you're driving or anything like that. This is a closed eye process, and it's a complementary thing. So you might as well enjoy this experience and close your eyes, because it's going to get you into that hypnotic and meditative state, and you can have clear intentions and feel great. So everybody, stop what you're doing, get into a place where you can sit down or lay down and get super comfortable. Now you can already begin to think about something that you might want in your life. But right now I'm going to get you into a relaxed and focused state where you're more open and receptive, where I can deliver suggestions to your subconscious mind to help you be your best version of yourself, to be that peak performer, and to really embrace the power of who we truly are. So go ahead now and close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And hold your breath in for as long as you comfortably can. And while you're holding your breath in, look up above your eyebrows, connecting with your higher self and your intuition. And when you do lower your eyeballs and you do breathe out, tell yourself relax. Feel yourself relax as you imagine a sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And let's do that a couple more times. Next breath in, take a deep breath in. Hold that breath in, look up, connect with your higher self and your intuition. And then lower your eyeballs. Tell yourself relax, breathe out, and feel and see a healing sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And relax right there into the chair. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in. Hold that breath in, look up, connect with your higher self and your intuition. And when you breathe out, tell yourself relax, and allow yourself now to relax and go deeper and deeper to that place inside you where things change, where things heal, where insight lives. Good. Very good. Now, send your energy, your consciousness down to the center of the earth. Just imagine, just pretend what it would be like, what it would feel like to be in the center of the earth, 10 times more relaxed and 10 times more focused. You in the primordial substance that created you, energy, energy. You're surrounded by electrons. You are electrons. And you can just relax and let go and allow my voice to relax you even deeper. So as you relax into that place, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 4. When I get to 4, I'm going to snap my fingers. You're going to ride a beam of light like you're riding a wave of energy all the way up to a place that's we can call a higher self sanctuary, a beautiful ball of light, a very comfortable place. So you might sense that big, bright, beautiful light way up there, like a giant particle of love and light. And you may sense a wave, like a slide calling you now. You could ride on it, you could do a magic carpet, but I'm going to count. So go ahead now. With the count of 1, begin rising up, going higher and higher and deeper, 2, rising up, going higher and higher and getting lighter and lighter. 3, rising up, transcending and ascending all space and time. You are almost in that beautiful ball of healing energy and light. And with a count of 4, arrive. Arrive in your sacred place now. Arrive in what we could call your higher self sanctuary. Just be bathed in this healing energy and healing light. Find a place for you to sit or lay or float and just relax even deeper. This is a special place for you as you begin to recognize and realize how powerful you are. That you right now are in an infinite possibility, a quantum field of possibility of something that you want. You can imagine right now, you can pretend right now that you are in this sacred space and that you can see yourself, how you want to be. Maybe you want something in your life. Maybe you want a soulmate. Maybe you want more money. Maybe you want to heal your body. Maybe you want to reduce all the suffering on the earth. You can see right there, hear, and feel what you want. When you set an intention, you can set it for yourself. You can set it for the earth. You can do more than one. Let the universe, let the field, let your electrons know that you're listening and this is what you want. Now remember, you want to be in an elevated mood like love or joy or appreciation. So get into that elevated mood. And a great way to do that is to get into that attitude of gratitude. I know you could come up with 10, 20, probably 100 things you could feel truly grateful for. You might even feel grateful for this opportunity to relax and to be bathed in healing energy and light. You might be grateful for animals. You might be grateful that you have a car or heat or light or jewelry. We are lucky right now. Think of what you could feel grateful for. Feel that attitude of gratitude, that adoration. Make that your heart. Feel it. Breathe it in and out of your heart. This wonderful feeling of gratitude, appreciation, love. You know, I love love. Love. Feel it. Breathe it into your heart. And when you've got that great vibe, then set that intention again and like see it as if it already exists. Feel it. Smell it. Right there in your world. Observe it into reality. See it. Mentally rehearse your intentions. The earth is healthy. You are healthy. You are happy. You are complete. You have everything you need. You might want to connect with your higher self and then see that. You've got a great feeling, set your intentions, and enjoy the journey. Now, it is time for you to take another moment and finish up. Feel all the love around you and recognize and realize that you are the magic wand. Your thoughts, your intentions, your emotions, your vibe all become together so that you can have what you want for yourself, for Mother Earth. You know that I love protecting the earth and that I want the animals to be free and I want more trees to be grown and places to be healthy, the water to get cleaned up, the air to be cleaned up. So now, become one with that future self. Reorganize in yourself, into your DNA. Your electrons say, hey, yeah, we got this. We're here. This is you. We're one. And then slide down that wave, ride that wave, back down to the center of the earth, all the way down to the center of the earth, and be there for a moment, feeling ultra joy. And then rise up through your body to the top of your head and land in that heart. And now I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I get to 5, I'll snap my fingers and this powerful, beautiful you is going to emerge. Starting right now with the count of 1, take a big, deep energy breath in. 2, speeding up with a sweet, loving energy that stays with you through the rest of the day and into the evening. 3, speeding up into the present, into a new mind, new body, new you, the quantum you. 4, speeding up, and with the count of 5, open those eyes. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed sharing this with you. I'll definitely do quantum physics number 2 coming soon. So as you come back, I want to thank you all for participating. Thank you all for watching this. Say hello again. Say something to let us know that you liked this, or you can share this anytime. Once this is over, you can give it to other people. You can put it on their walls and send it in Messenger just to have this wonderful experience. And we can get the world to be a better place. So I do have to tell you what we're doing next Tuesday. And next Tuesday at 12 o'clock is the next show, the Randi Light Experience. I'm going to be interviewing the executive director of, her name is Donna Kreiner, and she's the executive director of NIC, Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids Foundation. So she is going to share with us everything she's doing. It's their tagline is hope, help, heal. If you want to hear about this powerful and incredible group that's really helping people, and especially kids and their families that are dealing with this and partnering with people, then join the show. It's fascinating. You'll learn so many things that people are doing, and it might even help you understand the world in a new way. So that's next Tuesday with Donna Kreiner, the executive director of Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids. You guys, I love you. Cheryl, I love you too. Thanks for that beautiful heart. And if you enjoyed this, say hello, welcome, and we will see all of you next Tuesday at 12 o'clock Central Time. Bye-bye for now, everybody. Take care. Mwah.